Hi everyone, welcome to my weekly life hack. And my life hack today is going to be about plank pose. We do so many planks as yogis, and not just as yogis. I feel like it's a exercise or a posture that's practiced by, I would say, pretty much everybody, most people, because it's such a great strengthening posture. When we think about planks, most of us just think about the upper body, the arms, our chest, our back. Sometimes we're even aware of the abdominals, but a lot of times not even. Although plank is amazing for the upper body, it's so great for our press, working our arms, our upper arms, our chest muscles, our shoulder blades are in protraction. So we're working our serratus anterior. So yes, it's great for the upper body, but what people often forget about is the abdominals and the lower body. I often see very sloppy ankles when it comes to plank, and that's gonna be my first tip. Your feet are the starting point of your kinetic chain. Whatever happens in your feet translates to the rest of the body. So if there's instability in your ankle, that's going to translate up to the knees, the hips, maybe even the spine, maybe even the arms. So if your feet are just kind of loosey-goosey and sloppy, you're not getting as much as you could be out of your plank. Doesn't matter if your upper body is strong. With the help of the feet and the lower body, we can turn it into a full body posture or full body activation. And then once we have a nice sturdy plank, we create that isometric contraction, then we have the opportunity for the whole body to strengthen. Another thing to think about is the tilt of the pelvis. A lot of times I see people in what's called a posterior pelvic tilt. Which is great when we're back bending, but if we want to work our abdominal muscles, then we want to be in I'll rephrase that. We see people in an anterior pelvic tilt, which is great when we want to lengthen out the front body, but if we want to contract the front body, like really use our abdominals, we want to be in a posterior pelvic tuck. So let's come into our plank. Grip the mat with your finger pads and your knuckles, and imagine you're clawing the mat and you're trying to move your hand towards your knees or towards your feet. And that action alone should fire up your extensor muscles, the muscles that help create this position in the wrist called wrist extension. So grip, claw, like you're trying to claw the mat, fingertips towards your knees. Walk your knees back a bit and then tuck your toes under. Now your feet are like a tripod. You have big toe mount, pinky toe mount, and heel. So let's find a nice neutral foot here. Tuck all 5 toes on each foot into the ground and then lift into your plank. And then once you get into your plank, make your little adjustments. But however you adjust, see if you can tuck the toes and really ground the balls of your feet. And then look at your feet and notice if your ankles are collapsing in, if they're moving out too much, and see if you can find a neutral foot, like you're pressing into a wall. And again, really press the ball mounts of the feet down or your forefeet into the ground. And then notice what your pelvis is doing. Are you doing this, which is your anterior pelvic tuck, which is what we're gonna do when we come into our upward facing dog. But in our plank, it's gonna be more beneficial if we move into a posterior pelvic tuck to really use the abdominals. So ankles are strong, inner thighs are squeezing, outer hips are squeezing, pelvis is tucked in a posterior tuck. We're driving the arms through the ground, and then we're pulling the hands to the feet and the feet to the hands. Right. Now when we do that, we're then able to move the body in one solid piece. So it's a one solid traveling plank moving to the ground and lifting back up versus slamming the upper body down and then the lower body, really overworking the low back and eventually maybe even feeling little aches in the low back. So let's just go through that one more time and we'll lower down. Tuck the toes, strong, sturdy ankles. Find your posterior pelvic tuck. Squeeze your inner thighs, your outer hips. Protract your shoulder blades. Wrap them around your back. Drive your arms into the ground. Hands to feet, feet to hands. And then slowly lower down, maintaining all of those actions. So we're traveling in one piece, nice and controlled, versus that, or versus this. Okay, so one more time. Ankles are tight, abdominals are tight, arms are pressing, and then as we lower down, we're still resisting the ground. Really working on our eccentric contraction as we lower down. There you go. You'll notice it might be a little bit harder than your regular plank, but the benefit is you're strengthening your entire body, and then your vinyasas, they'll become so much easier because then there'll be more ease in the body, there'll be more strength in the body, and you won't feel like you're collapsing. All right, I'm gonna have a little rest now. That was hard. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.